Hi, it's Mathviz here and this is my second video, and in this video I would like to show you this really cool trick where you can multiply number 67 with the multiples of 3 really fast in your head. This is just like my previous video in which you could multiply 34 with the multiples of 3 really fast, and here we can multiply 67 with the multiples of 3. So for understanding this, let's see how 67 into 3 works. So when you multiply 67 with 3, the product has to be 201, and here we can see that the first half of a product, that is 0 to that 0 is just for our reference, that the first half of a product is just the double of the second half of a product. And when you add the first half of a product and the second half of a product, you get the number with which you multiplied 67, that is 3. So let's take an example to understand this. When you multiply 67 with 69, the procedure has to be done in such a way that when you divide uh, 69 by 3, you get the second half of your product, and when you multiply that second half of your product with 2, you get the first half of your product. So 69 divided by 3 gives you 23. So as we know that this uh, half has to be the second half of your product, and the first half of your product has to be double the second half of your product. So here the product has to be 4623. So here again we can see that the second half of a product when multiplied by 2 gives you the first half of a product, and this is the procedure with which you have to solve this, and you have to follow this. You cannot do it directly by 69 into 2 divided by 3. That gets a bit tedious, so this is an easier way. So uh, and when you add 46 and 23, you get 69, which with which you multiplied 67. So let's try another one. 67 into, say, 93. So again we know that the product has to be such that when you add the first half of a product and the second half of a product, you should get 93, and the first half of a product has to be double the second half of your product. So let's begin. So 93 divided by 3, it gives you 31. So this has to be the second half of a product, and the first half of a product has to be double the second half of a product, so it has to be 62. So your product has to be 6231. You can check this on your calculators. It's a really cool trick, and it just reduces the time required to multiply 67 with such with the multiples of 3. So let's try another one for just getting a bit used to this. 67 into, say, 84. So the product has to be 5628. So see, again we can see over here that the second half of product when multiplied by 2 gives you the first half of a product. This pattern keeps following for all the multiples of 3, but it gets a bit tedious when the numbers get a bit large. So it's a really cool trick, so but it requires a bit of practice, so keep practicing, and thank you for watching.